Here we go! Here we go!
All right. I don't know what to say, friends and family, but what I can say is I said, yo, what's up, everybody? I'm Amber. This is Amber's Logic. Got a new video for you today. Milwaukee Bucks trades, rumors, and news. Live edition. Before we get into it, you know the spiel. Comment, like, subscribe, and share this electrifying content with the people. When did you ever think, from what we were seeing over the past few weeks from the Milwaukee Bucks, that all of a sudden on a homestand, we'd run off 3 straight? I understand the competition. I know that, friends and family. I know it's not the most elite of competition. I get that. Nonetheless, playing smart basketball for the most part besides this fourth quarter, we're going to act like we didn't see what happened in this fourth quarter, and we're going to only talk about what we saw in the first 3 quarters, friends and family. We're going to forget about that fourth quarter. That never happened. We're only going to talk about the first 3 quarters. Nonetheless, the ball movement from the Bucks has looked impressive recently. We can't do anything on defense. It just is what it is. We have our moments, but you know, Bobby and AJ Green, it just is what it is on defense at times. But the offense has looked fairly smooth for the most part. A lot of ball movement besides with Bobby. I mean, this is a good 3 wins for the home fans at home to get. Like, I'm not sure about how this is going to affect us as far as in the lottery and all that. I'm not sure if that matters. Do y'all still care about that? With obviously Giannis staying for the duration of this year. I know we'll get into that later on into the live. But let's enjoy this win streak that the Bucks are on. 3 in a row. All at home. Fiserv Forum. Hey, it a lot more comfortable in the friendly confines of Fiserv Forum. Also, I think that the players themselves are more comfortable now at this point with the trade deadline pass. Giannis is staying at least for the rest of the season. I think there's probably a little bit more of a calmness in the locker room, allowing players to be a lot more relaxed out there and be a lot more like free-flowing, because they look a lot different right now. I'm not going to lie. I'm not saying we about to go to the playoffs. I'm not saying we about to go to a championship. It's small steps to get to great things. And small steps is we're looking better offensively. That's a step in the right direction for the Milwaukee Bucks. Is they're looking good offensively. We have players that seem to be excelling. The having KPJ back healthy has definitely made a difference to this offense. And I also want to kind of like co-sign what B-Shack has been saying, that I think that we take KPJ for granted, and he's a really talented player, and he brings a lot to the table. Obviously, he can score on all three levels. I don't think we give him the respect that he deserves, especially since we big up Ryan Rollins the way we do, and is much deserved. But KPJ and Ryan Rollins together are part of the nucleus for the Bucks' future, in my opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. What up, friends and family? What up, Bucks Nation? My bad. I got right into it. Salute, friends and family. Salute, Bucks Nation. Salute the channel members. Salute to the queens of the chat. We active. We 3-0. It's Friday night. Make sure you hit the like button. We move the needle over here on this Bucks content. Hit the like button. Bucks are getting active right now against the Indiana Pacers at home with the W. 103.99 right now. Let's put up them stats. Let's get into this game. I'm proud of the Bucks, though. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm proud of the Bucks. Bucks are looking to get a 3-0 home stand right here. They're up 103.99 with 11 seconds left. This fourth quarter has not been the best. Has been hard to watch, to say the least, for the Milwaukee Bucks. But the first three quarters were really good, I thought. Besides the first quarter was a little shaky, but we got it together. But the second and third quarter, we looked really good, and then we laid a complete egg in the fourth quarter. But, that's just the ebb and flow of basketball. The whole point is, if you win by 1, you win by 30. As long as you get the W, that's all that matters, right? So the Bucks need to go ahead and close out on the Indiana Pacers. I think we did pretty good on Pascal Siakam. 7 of 19 from the field. That's volume shooting, 19 points. So he didn't go crazy on us. That was good to see. J Huff, he's mid. Who cares? Nemhard came back, 22 points, but obviously volume shooting, 6 of 17. Him getting 7 free throws was criminal. His 7 free throws, I'm not going to say not all of them, but him shooting 7 free throws is criminal. Let's keep it real. Naismith had 12. Furphy did nothing. Jarris Walker, I don't know where he came from. I'm not familiar with his game. Y'all let me know, but I think 15 points is too much for him. But I will, you know what, y'all? Let's give props to the Milwaukee Bucks defense for not letting TJ McConnell go crazy. For once, TJ McConnell did not go crazy on the Milwaukee Bucks. That's a positive right there, friends and family. He usually gets active on us. He only had 8 points. I'm happy. Shepard had 6. Cam Jones had 2. They shot 44%, but they did not shoot well from 3, 28%. 21 free throws. I don't feel a lot of those were justified. It is what it is. 26 assists. They only had 9 turnovers. 9 steals is really high in my opinion, and 4 blocks. Then we get down to the victors. Miles Turner, a slow game, but almost a double-double. 9 points, 10 rebounds. So it's good to see him hitting the boards. 2 assists, 2 turnovers. And Jericho Sims, 31 minutes, 4 points, but 15 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks. Jericho Sims looked good out there, but I'm not going to let this good game fool me from what I know that he is. And don't let it fool y'all. He still got to go, y'all. This was one good game against a team that's really bad. We got to put that in perspective. I appreciate what Jericho Sims did today. I appreciate it. But that doesn't mean that you belong on this roster next year. We got to keep it $1, y'all. Hey, it's cool what you was doing. That was cute. You was doing this against the Pacers. Can you do this against the Oklahoma City Thunder? Can you do this against the New York Knicks? Can you do this against the Detroit Pistons? That's what I want to see. If you're not doing that, then it don't matter. You doing it against them, that's cool. But, I mean, hey, it's them. So I'm still a fan of moving Jericho in the offseason. I just want to make that clear. Besides him having a solid game here, Kevin Porter Jr., outstanding game in my opinion. 23 points, 10 of 20 from the field. Did not shoot well from 3, 0 of 6, 3 of 3 from the free throw line. I felt he should have shot quite a few more free throws. I think if they were being serious, he should have probably shot 8 to 10 free throws, in my opinion. Y'all let me know in the comment section. 7 rebounds, 8 assists, only 2 turnovers, 3 steals, filling up the stat sheet. Shout out to Kevin Porter Jr. Hey, y'all. Hey, AJ Green. My boy AJ Green. Hey, shout out to AJ Green. 37 minutes, 14 points, 5 of 14 from the field. Hey, AJ Green took it in for like a 2-pointer. I was surprised. I don't know how he did that. Shout out to AJ Green. 4 of 12. Not his best 3-point shooting night. And I thought he had a lot of good looks. I don't know what it is about AJ Green. I feel like he shoots better under duress than he does a wide open threes. It's weird. 4 of 12. He had 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, +9. Ryan Rollins, another solid performance. I told y'all I want Ryan Rollins getting up 20 or more shots a game. Again, he gets close with 19. 9 of 19, 4 of 8, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 turnovers. He had some bad turnovers in there, but it's all good. I thought he played well for the most part, besides a couple of questionable turnovers. But y'all know what we don't give. Ryan Rollins is very efficient. Ryan Rollins doesn't really shoot crazy a lot. Ryan Rollins is a very solid player. Like borderline all-star talent. Borderline. He could grow into that. But Ryan Rollins has a lot of upside. Bobby Porter's back and got active on offense. Bobby Porter's got active. We know what Bobby is on defense. I know y'all gonna get him. I'm not gonna get him. I'm gonna let y'all lead on Bobby Porter defense. But Bobby Portis did help us tremendously offensively. 21 points, 9 of 18 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, only 1 turnover, and he was -1. Even with that stat line, that lets you know that defense was yikes. But it is what it is. My boy Pete Nance only had 18 minutes today. He still had 5 points, 2 of 3, 1 of 1 from 3, one rebound, 1 assist, 1 steal, and yet again, Pete Nance, no turnovers. I keep emphasizing Pete Nance, no turnovers, because those are the type of players that should be getting more playing time and should also be more in the rotation. Like, he's not messing up. He's scoring when he's supposed to. He's rebounding. He's defending. He's not turning the ball over. Why can't he get consistently over 20 minutes? Pete Nance needs to be more of an integral part on this team. On this current roster, he should be getting tick. Real tick. I'm just keeping it real. He should be getting some real tick. Tired of this with that. Gary Harris didn't give us much. Gary Trent Jr. has 7 points. He can go at the end of the year. I'm cool on him. Bucks 44-95, 46% from the field. Only 30% from 3. Not our best shooting performance. But this is absolutely pathetic. Friends and family, like, what is up with the officiating? In a whole game, the Bucks only shot 6 free throws, fam. 6 free throws in the whole game, yet they shot 21? How is that even possible? Do y'all not know how crazy that is? They playing in our face again. How can y'all officiate like that? They are playing in our face, friends and family. They are literally playing in our face. Man. 48 rebounds. We did well on the boards today. 26 assists. Only 11 turnovers. 4 steals. I want to give them credit again for not turning the ball over crazy. That's not bad for the Bucks. But man, this officiating is crazy. Why would you show love to the Indiana Pacers? The NBA is like crazy sometimes. I mean, these stats are relative. Hey, look at the Bucks with the field goal attempts. When is the last time we've seen this? 95-79 for the for the field goal attempts. That's awesome. I don't even remember the last time I've seen that type of discrepancy in the Bucks' favor. Y'all let me know. Wow. I didn't know it was that crazy. The rebounding, wow, 48-37. We were crashing the boards today. I don't want to say we look good right now as far as what we're doing. But again, we haven't played any high level competition. I'll wait till we play some high level competition to truly critique this team. But we're doing what we're supposed to do against the competition that we're playing. I mean, that's impressive. 13-5 dominating the boards. That doesn't happen often. We only gave up 8 points off turnovers. We dominated points in the paint. We played an all-around good game. That fourth quarter, we let our foot off the gas. That happens. It happens, friends and fans. That's nothing to be concerned. That's just it's the Bucks. You know what I'm saying? But for us to hold on, 3-0, we got a 3-game winning streak. At Fiserv Forum in front of friends and family, they better start winning, because I was telling y'all before, it ain't that many people to be in Fiserv Forum like it used to. I'm telling you, it's crazy. The last game, it was only like 5,000 people in there, maybe 7,500 max. It looked crazy. That's why I'm telling you, them camera angles is different than they used to be when we was really cracking. So I don't know what's about to happen with these Bucks. They're like a Jekyll and Hyde team. When you want to believe in, when you want to give up on them, then they turn things around. Then when you believe in them, then they do something to make you give up on them. I just don't know what to say about this team, but I am happy about the current state of the Milwaukee Bucks with a 3-0 win, and at least for the fan base to get some wins at home, because those have been there's been a long gap between since this type of set of wins for the Milwaukee Bucks. So that's good to see. I do want to say that is good to see from the Bucks, yo. Let's see who in the building, friends and family. Let's see who in the building. Hold on one second, y'all. Get in the comment section. Open up the lines here. What up, Derek Stevenson? What up, Mia Kim? Salute. Mr. Cole, the living legend. Pickle Luke. What's good? Eli, Trina, Robert Brooks. What's good? BKC in the building. What up, Jeff Riley? Salute. What up? What up, Gibson? Appreciate you. What up, Janet MOC? Appreciate you. Shout out to the queens of the chat. Appreciate y'all tapping in. What up, Sadowski? Dre West, I see you. Boy Mommy, what's good? Basketball Jones, I see you. What up, Pronte? Salute. Appreciate y'all tapping in. We 3-0. I don't know if this is good or bad, because I thought we was trying to tank for the draft. So how does this affect us? Y'all got to let me know in the comment section. What up, Daddy Commander? Very active in the chat. What's good? TV Fanatic. Appreciate you. What's good? The childish one in the building. Jimmy Roller, my dude. Appreciate you. Hey, Brazilian Bronco. What's good? My man was going crazy the last chat. What up, humble gentlemen? Appreciate you. All right, y'all. Let's get to these comments section. I put the link in the chat. B-Shack, what's good? Appreciate y'all. All right, put the link in the chat, too. Let's see what's cracking in the comment section. 3 in a row. We looking good, y'all. Do y'all want us to go to the playoffs, though? Like, is it worth it? And I see Giannis is coming back. Like, I'm actually a little upset about Giannis coming back. I thought he should be shut down for the rest of the year. He want to wear a sleeve and all this Iron Man ensemble, man. Like, you done made the All-Star game. Like, it's cool, bro. Shut it down. I'm just going to say, personally, I don't feel confident nor comfortable with Giannis attempting to come back for this season. I'm just saying, me. That's how I feel. I would prefer for him to be shut down. I know a lot of people might feel differently. I'm gonna say I would prefer for Giannis to get shut down for the rest of the season. That's my personal opinion. And I would also like, now he's staying, so I'm assuming he's gonna sign the Supermax. We just never know. It's always the games, man. Oh, you want to get traded? Oh no, I'm gonna stay. Oh, that's the problem. It's always the games, man. I wish I knew what was reality. Dealing with this Giannis situation is almost like watching videos. You don't know if it's AI or not. You don't know if it's real or not. Like, damn. What is it, bro? Crazy. But what are we doing with this team right now, though, friends and family? We look good these last 3 games. Do y'all want to go to the playoffs? Do y'all just want to tank and get the best possible draft pick? These are the conversations that need to be had. because we're winning right now. Do y'all want to continue the winning? Is this enough? Let's continue losing to try to get a higher draft pick. What is the realistic expectations from the fan base of this team? Because this is my opinion, right? Like, if we continue winning, we get in the playoffs, we're gonna get put out early. Now we're gonna get a low draft pick, and we're never really gonna get anywhere. Y'all get what I'm saying? And I also, y'all know that Coffee and Cole Anthony got traded. They off the squad. So that's addition by subtraction because they wasn't doing nothing anyway. So it's a lot going on with this team. Let me tap in Bleacher real quick. Hold on, yo. Let me tap in Bleacher. What up, bro? So we got 3 in a row. We got Coffee off this team. We got we got Cole Anthony off this team. We acquired what's my man's name that we acquired? Hold on, let me see.
From OKC, he got traded like in 24 hours, 3 times in 24 hours. His last name is kind of weird to pronounce. It's like O'Shea something. He's like a 6'9" center.
He at least got some height, and like we weren't getting anything from Coffee and Cole Anthony, so I'm cool on that. And now Bleacher, since you on here, you were very adamant about some of your Giannis thoughts. So hold on, let me get Danny Commander. Hold on. It's a lot. Wait. I just see something from B Shack. Hold on. What up, B Shack? You might as well tap in. Hold on. Chris Haynes said that Giannis thinks he can play in the All-Star game.
That look on your face said it all. Bro, I gotta get some things off my chest.
Right.
Man. I gotta get some things off my chest about all this, man.
Okay. Daddy Commander think they gonna blow it up. Okay. All right.
What?
Let me tap in Pronte. Oh, all right, Daddy Commander. All right, we gonna see.
Man,
hold on, let's say we tap in Pronte. What up, Pronte?
I'm gonna tell you guys the truth. You don't like the truth. So I said this in the last live. The owners, they care about people showing up to the showing up. And I said something. I said some people didn't like. They like when you don't got no people showing up. Amber just said 5,000 people showed up last time.
It was light at the game, bro. Super light.
And then like you be the owner of the team, and you try to show off, and you don't see half the stands not even filled up. That's embarrassing. So for them to just blow it up, they had to do something really drastic. That's why when I was listening yesterday, everybody was mad still at Giannis yesterday. Like people that's not even Bucks fans is mad at him. Oh, he's corny. He sounds corny. I was just laughing. I'm like, man, whatever, man. You guys don't understand what's going on here. And they just mad that they got trolled. He trolled, but at the same time, if you got Giannis even not saying that he ain't want to leave, he didn't say it. He really didn't say it. But at the same time, yes, I probably want to get shut down. But at the same time, you can't just shut him down. Like I said, the whole rest of the year,
Kyle.
The whole rest of the year, you got your stadium, arena's not even filled up.
Mm-hmm.
That's embarrassing. Especially if you're trying to keep this a relevant team. Like,
but that's the thing, though. It gotta be empty. That's the whole point, though. Like, we need to commit one way or the other, y'all. Because if we go to the playoffs, we're gonna be in the same position. We need low key. We need to kind of chill out on the winning to get a higher draft pick, so we can try to get something going here. That's actually what we need to be doing. Like, I'm not a person that like to quit or nothing like that. That's not in my makeup. But for this team and for the business perspective, the Bucks need higher draft picks. We need talent. We need to acquire talent. You know what I'm saying? It was a good move by getting rid of Coffee and Cole Anthony. You shed money off the books. You opening up a roster spot. I get it, but we need more of that. We need the full reboot. If we're gonna keep Giannis, and Giannis is now for today saying he's staying this week, he's saying he's staying, then we need to get we need to get as much talent as possible around this man to be successful for the next head coach, because we obviously all understand that Doc is probably getting fired in the offseason. So we need to we need to get as much draft capital as we can. And if we keep winning, that is not going to help our draft capital, and we will not be able to compete in the East with just Giannis. It's not enough anymore. That's what we need to understand. It's at the point where Giannis actually needs real help now. Giannis can't score 70 anymore. As much as I love Giannis, he can't just carry it like that. He needs help. So we need to have real talent. KPJ, Rollins, those are steps in the right direction. But he needs a dominant second fiddle. Someone that can, like I said, if it's 5 games in a week, Giannis going to be cold 5 out of 5. He needs somebody else that can at least be cold 4 out of 5 games consistently. That's what made it work with Middleton. Middleton to get his close to 20, at least 4 out of them 5 games would allow them to compete. We need more of that. We need somebody who can really get buckets consistently in today's NBA. Because KPJ and Rollins, they cool, but it's not enough, and we've already seen that. We can't say that we didn't see this team healthy, like they was going to run through anything. That still wasn't enough. We need more. We need another dominant scorer on this team to even think about competing this next year. Because I'm not even thinking about this year. I'm talking about next year. We need another scorer, and that needs to happen in the offseason. And I think that the way Bobby is playing this year, he's upping his trade value, and we need to move Bobby now, immediately in this offseason, because he's at his highest point right now, the way Bobby's hooping. He's one of the top 10 in three-pointers and all of that. Let's move this defensive liability and try to see what we can get back, or maybe even get a low second round, first round pick, something for Bobby, because he's playing well enough. He's a big that can score. Let's try to leverage that, because we need talent to compete. Otherwise, we on a treadmill. That's just my personal opinion. What up, Pronte? What up, B Shack? Man, salute. What up? What up? Go ahead. Let's start off with Bleacher, then we go to Pronte and go to B Shack. On you, Bleacher.
All right, but my bad. B Shack. So I did you a favor. I actually watched every podcast after the trade deadline, and let me tell you, they are mad at Giannis. I ain't never seen so many people not part of the Bucks. They're mad at him, calling him cornball. It was actually a Heat podcast I was watching. They were mad. They're like, I don't want him here. He playing games. He's after them getting
Giannis going to
traded.
Giannis.
Like,
What does that mean, Amtrak? Man, go ahead. Amtrak, that's not an answer. Giannis gonna Giannis. That ain't no answer. Go ahead. That's crazy. That's a thing now. Giannis is a thing.
Oh man.
Oh,
Look, the truth is that people understand the Bucks. I said that the Bucks need to get at least about 5 or 6 first round picks and players for them. And I'm like, you better get something close to that, and nobody wanted to give them that. So the Bucks did the right thing, held on to him until the offseason. Like, we know the deal, but everybody else all mad at the Bucks, like, oh, you should have just let him go. Get what you get for him. Like, no.
Right.
No. Nobody wants Ja. Nobody wants John Morant because of how he is. They said, something important that you probably wouldn't know, B-Shack. They said that the reason why nobody wants Ja because he plays like Giannis. That's what they said. He plays too much like Giannis. He doesn't have a jump shot. And then he said his all the field stuff. They said his value is negative right now because of that. Giannis is different because he's good off the field, but they know how special he is when he can get players around him. But hearing that, I'm like, I didn't think of that, but wow. You know, I understood why John didn't get traded. So go ahead.
Oh, you Pronte.
I just think the thing that he played like Giannis, like Tony Parker played like Giannis. You ain't want Tony Parker. So it's like, whatever. That ain't the reason why I don't want him, because I never saw a guard make more layups in the paint than Tony Parker at one point.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good thing, to be honest, because he dang near won the Spurs 2 championships with that. It's just they don't trust his mindset, the way he thinks about life. They don't trust it. We all see it. We all know what they don't trust about Ja Morant. I'm just glad the Bucks is winning. I'm gonna watch them win some games. You know,
right? Fact.
I mean, it ain't quality teams. I actually think we probably should be losing against these teams, because what's the strategy? I'm with you, and what's the strategy, y'all?
What's the strategy, bro? That's what I'm saying. We just strategy. Do anything.
I'm thinking long term. I'm thinking past this year. I don't want to make the. Let's make
you
the
see what I'm saying?
Year.
And I'm not saying on a loser. I'm saying on some strategy. You know what I'm saying? That's on some strategy right there.
When I
Like,
see Indiana, I know their strategy. Look at the teams we lost to, right? I mean,
right.
just beat the Pelicans, Indiana. What they doing? What you think they really want? Did they want to really win? Come on, they want that AJ Benasta
Oh yeah, they want all that, right?
leadership
Washington,
sweepstake.
the
They lining
Wizards
it
think
up.
they slick. They think they pulling some wizardry over there.
The Wizards doing the same thing. They lining it up, and here go the Bucks trying to make the playoffs. We looking like, man.
Yeah, that seemed like the goofy move to me. Especially why go to play if you're a young team, you should first time going. I get it. We have nothing to gain from going to the playoffs besides embarrassment.
Only thing I can see is like if we have to really believe in KPJ and Rollins. Yeah, so they gotta the next year they gotta really be that scorer that you're talking about. That's all that happened. They had to be the 2 and 3.
Uh-huh.
You have to really believe that for you not to try to take advantage of where you at this year. I mean, you borderline gonna make the playoffs. What's the point of being in the play-in when you can just tank a little bit,
Right.
get a sweepstakes to get you a really good up and coming, a really good rookie.
We need talent. We've been
You
derived
need
so
the
much
talent.
talent. That's what like friends and fam. We got to keep it real. Just to interject briefly here, Pronte. We don't
No,
have any accumulated talent on this
yeah,
team.
you need it.
We don't have anything. We don't have anything we've been building on besides Rollins and AJ Green, and that was lost and found. That was nothing we orchestrated. That was lost and found. So if we can get into this draft, it's almost foolproof that we'll get some type of player at minimum that'll be a rotational player. At minimum. At
And
minimum.
develop into who knows what in the next 3 or 4 years. And
Would
we
you
need
agree with that, Pronte? At minimum, we would get somebody that would be
Yeah,
serviceable, right?
yeah. I mean, the top 5 picks is like almost sure proof of player.
Right.
That's
A player, different skills, sure proof of player. So I mean, it's like, why not try to get up in there while you in the down year? You still got Giannis,
Right.
you got KPJ, and you still got Rollins in the
Rollins.
contract.
True.
They gonna develop. They gonna get some reps. They gonna get some chemistry. But look at the other teams we just beat. The Pelicans ain't trying to win.
No. You could even
They ain't
tell
trying to
Zion
win.
wasn't even playing for real.
Zion was
He was
last.
coasting. I'm just keeping it real. Zion is cold, bro, and he was coasting. He was coasting in that game.
Oh yeah, Zion was Zion. That's what
He
I'm
was
saying.
Zion. He was coasting. He was chilling.
He was Zion, and I don't
He
know
was
what he was
chilling.
doing. I know.
I just think
And
if
I've
we could
seen
get into this draft, it would be huge for this organization to get into this
we
draft.
need to get. The Bucks fans need it. The organization needs it. We need a player that we can believe in, other than Giannis. That's a rookie. That we drafted. And,
Thank
it's supposed
you.
to be somebody. We definitely need it. Just to be like, okay, here's an heir apparent.
Yeah.
KBJ could be that, but KBJ got to prove it. You got to be consistent. I know the one thing that Aaron Rodgers said was the difference between regular players and superstars is consistency. Can you do it every night? And that's what we need. We need another player that can do it every night with
Right.
consistency. And it's easy for them. Like
Yeah, that's
their
what I'm saying. Go ahead. You say you don't want. Yeah, exactly. I think you coming
their
from my
bottom is
perspective as
20.
well.
Their bottom is 20. Their bottom is 20. Then when they go off, they give you 40.
Thank
You know
you.
what I mean?
Thank you.
Bottom,
Right.
their normal games are 20 and whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever based on their position. And then when they go off, they light you up. That the Bucks need another player like that because Middleton's bottom was 20,
Mm-hmm.
right? But when he lights you up, you go for 40. And the Bucks
Mm-hmm.
was definitely winning that game. You know what I mean? And that's what the Bucks need.
Right.
Bucks
But that's what I'm
need a
saying. They
player.
missing that. Nothing crazy. Just somebody get him a dub. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Then we gonna go to B Chat. What up, Julian? Appreciate the $5 super chat. We just need to get a hot look at the Pacers last year. Why can't they be us with the healthy Giannis? I get you. The coaching matters though too in that situation too, Julian. Coaching matters in that situation as well. You got to be able to make those pieces fit together also. But we're going to hold on 1 second. Probably we'll go to B Shack, then we'll come back around. Go ahead, B Shack. Oh, shit.
Yo, I'm totally confused. I'm totally confused with this team, man. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I'm being honest. I mean, I saw a couple other GMs come out after the trade deadline and give like a press conference, a report on what the plan is about the players they acquired. I don't know what the Bucks are doing. Are
That's
you on one minute? I'm hearing, okay, they're gonna try to play the draft, so they're gonna try to tank a little bit. Next moment, I'm hearing it's reported that they're gonna try to rebuild this team around Giannis, try to rebuild a championship team. Uh, t- then there's talk about people talking about, okay, the right thing for the Bucks to do is shut Giannis down. Then I'm hearing, nah, we're not. Bucks don't say that. Then we're not going to do that. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I don't know what direction this team wants to go in because, first of all, they're playing without Giannis their best ball right now this season. I don't even. I don't understand it.
what I'm saying. It doesn't make
It's
sense.
like they're playing inspired, and so one part of you does not want this to stop because it's good for a team to have as much of a winning culture as possible. It's always a risk to let that losing culture come into your. It's a risk because we haven't been like that. We're like that now, not by choice, but
Hmm.
so that's kind of like in the back of your head. Do you really want to go that direction? But here's the thing. I think one, there's a couple of things I think. One, I don't think I've come to the conclusion that Giannis is never going to leave the Bucks. I don't think he has the heart to really come out and say
That
whatever.
says a
He's like,
lot. Okay.
I think that at the end of the day, Horst knows how to talk a hole in his head. Now, also heard someone say Giannis, the way he's acting on social media is like he's playing like he's
Trolling.
playing game on all of us. Like he's just running the show, pulling the strings. I don't know about that, man. I just think Giannis is a big kid
Hmm.
that really, when it comes down to it, doesn't know how to really separate from the only team he's known. Because truth be told, I do not. I hate to say this. I don't believe we can build a championship contender within the next couple of years. I don't think that's possible.
Mm.
And the reality is, and if Giannis really thinks about it, his prime is going to be kind of wasted a little bit over the next couple of years. Anything can happen. They can strike gold. I don't know in one of these draft picks, but I'm really confused right now because the best thing the Bucks can do is really build toward the future. That's the smartest thing.
Correct.
But yet they don't want to let go of the Giannis era, man. The bottom line, they're gonna have to make up their mind. They're gonna have to make up their mind, and I don't know which direction they're gonna go. I'm afraid they're gonna make all the stupid moves. They're gonna let Giannis come back and play. I don't know what that's gonna lead to.
Hmm.
They're not gonna have a good enough record to get one of the highest draft picks, and they really think that and I heard some reporting saying that one of the things they did in the last few days is really talk to Giannis about a plan of we can get enough assets to build a winning team around you this summer.
They
I
lying
don't
when you
know, man. I
got
think they're
20
fooling
million of dead
themselves,
space.
man.
Why are y'all capping like you got 22 million of dead space? Go ahead, B Shaq.
I don't know what's in their head, man. John Horst, someone needs to be saying we need to be hearing from. He needs to come out and say this is our
Now
plan
you on my type of time.
because we just guessing right now. It's all over the place. We either look like Bobos or now in Milwaukee, they're like, you know, everyone stand down. We told you wasn't leaving. But the truth of the matter is, I think the truth is somewhere in the middle. I think
No,
Giannis was
stand down.
considering it, trying to, throw rocks and hide his hands. And so I just don't know, man. This is the craziest saga. You expect type of craziness to come out of L.A.,
Right.
New York, something crazy like you don't expect this in Milwaukee. Man. Milwaukee used to be the no drama team.
Right. We got the internet going nuts. For the last couple of weeks, we got the internet going nuts.
Jason
You
hoops
muted
tonight.
yourself.
Jason has a pretty good. He's a pretty good basketball mind.
Okay.
Oh my,
He was
There you go.
pissed at Giannis. He said Giannis. He said all the superstars from like 2010. Giannis is the least skilled. He just came out and said he's the least skilled, and so his prime. I don't
Who
think
was
he's going
that?
to age well. He's just going in on Giannis.
Who said
He
that?
might have a couple of good years left. I mean, everybody's all over the place, man.
Right.
But you're right. The press is mad because they feel like they were
Who was
strung
that?
along. They feel like they were strung along.
Right. Shams got
Um,
made a fool out of, and I
you
appreciate
saw
that.
his face.
I
I
Woo!
mean,
appreciate that.
I mean, we don't need drama because the league wants Giannis out of Milwaukee.
Right.
The league is mad at Giannis because Giannis
that's
chose the
true.
league.
You can't
Giannis
deny
chose the
that.
league, and he like, you don't know I'm loyal. The league like, well, they keep trying to poach him. The
Right.
league is trying to poach him
I agree.
from Milwaukee, and they can't get him. And they mad at Giannis, so now they throwing shots.
Hold
You
on
know,
one sec. Hold on one
Yeah.
second, Friday. Hold on. D
you know how
Atkins,
to.
appreciate the $5 super chat. I love this team, but they can't even tank right. Shaking my head.
I feel you.
Bro, go ahead. Bro.
That is
How you say
tank
so?
right. Like, I mean, they trying to poach Giannis. The problem is Giannis is not. He not with that program. It's
No, I
hard to
agree.
get him in the league. He just ain't that person. Even if he want to, he can't bring himself to it, and that's the bottom line. And all it takes is a conversation, a hopeful conversation. He's just gonna give it a chance. But I just think that the Bucks need to figure out what they're doing. I agree with you, B. Shaq. We need to know a plan, but the Bucks need to tell Giannis a real plan, not the stupid plan. Like, oh, you gonna make a championship team next
Right.
year? How?
First
How?
plan should be you sitting out for the rest of the season. That should have been the first part
Get
of the
your body
plan.
right.
That should be phase one. Thank you. Get your body right. That's phase one.
I got to ask something to that real quick. So I was watching a Milwaukee also radio station on YouTube. There's in town, but they was saying, well, somebody called in like, well, Giannis don't need to play on the Euro team. We talked about it. He don't need to play on the Euro team, and then all the radio like, well, wait a minute, you can't be saying that because that's his country. You can't just say he can't do that. Otherwise, it one definitely want to leave. I'm like, what do you think other teams gonna say to him once he go to that team? You're not playing on that team. You're not. Like, what are these other people thinking? Like, if he goes to Miami, you think Pat Riley gonna let him go overseas?
I mean, I hear you gonna be that, but I feel like that's on the people. Somebody got to talk to Giannis. The people are just cowering to Giannis because they use him.
Don't be a
They're
coward.
using him though, but they're cowering to because they using him.
Exactly.
All of them are using him. Bucks are using him.
Greece
His Greece team is using him. The league is trying to use him. So they all don't have a real conversation with him. And that's what's really going on because
I agree.
they know that he shouldn't play in Greece. Greece knows he shouldn't be playing in Greece for Greece every summer. You know what I mean? Who's his real friend? At the end of the day, when Giannis leaves the NBA, they're gonna talk about him. End of story. And you can see it coming from a mile away because he's not doing what they want him to do. But the people that got him is using him like a dog. And that's the real truth of the matter because there's no way you don't have a conversation with Giannis say, man, you need to sit for some of your body breaking down. A
I
real
agree.
friend.
That's my thing. How are you not
real
letting
friend
this
would do that.
man sit, bro? That's
Yeah,
the
but
say.
see,
Go ahead, B. Shaq.
Giannis is at the same time. There's a lot of destructive things Giannis is doing to his reputation. Um, First of all, he really comes off in some ways. Sometimes he comes off childish. Sometimes he comes off like fickle, like he don't know what he wants. But here's the thing: this whole thing with him playing versus not playing, to other teams, he's gonna look like, well, is this guy more of a problem
Mm.
than we anticipate? Because they can't control him. He looks like he's running the franchise. And the Bucks are not conscious of how that looks. I mean, I guess we're gonna see amount of times to come back who's really in control. But then the thought is, are they going to piss him off so bad by not letting him play? I'm telling you,
They're taking
this
advantage
is
of his
so crazy.
loyalty,
Mm-hmm.
B-Shaq. They're taking advantage of his loyalty.
Yeah,
Giannis is the
that's
type
that's
of
what
person
Perk said.
that
That's what
gets
Perk said.
he's the type of person that has all his brothers on his team. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he looks out that hard. You know what I mean? That talking about keeping his friends with him, the ones that get the championship longer than they think. He gets people contracts that shouldn't have a contract. They're
100%.
taking
Sadly.
advantage of his loyalty. The organization, the Bucks organization, truthfully is taking advantage of his loyalty but they don't. If they had a better GM, it wouldn't look that bad. You know what I mean? Because they would still be winning, right? Because Giannis isn't going anywhere unless the Bucks make him go anywhere. Unless the Bucks just trade him. You
And
know,
what is
if
I
the
that?
think
What is
Bucks,
that's
that?
I think that's obvious at this point now.
What was that
Yeah.
they're,
Instagram he put? Legends don't chase, they attract.
Yeah.
they're
Some.
Listen, man, you don't have listen. That could easily be taken around a league by other players as a shot at them. He don't need to be doing that, man. I mean,
why do he have to care about what they think?
but it's still why are you flexing? You look crazy right now.
He has no
Just
PR.
just
He
say I'm
clearly is not
He ain't
playing
staying.
for a
going
He
nowhere
publisher.
gonna
though.
put he gonna
But
put he gonna put the movie clip
he
out there and
ain't
talk him
trying to
out.
play for them though. He don't care about them. Giannis
You
don't
look
care about his
crazy,
family.
man. You look
He
crazy,
don't care
man.
about them. He only care about the people that's close to him. I mean, that's the most obvious thing about him. He don't care about nobody but the people close to him. That's a gift and a curse. So he don't care about the PR. He don't care about the outside people. You know,
Don't.
he care about the people that he loyal to, and that's it. And he always say that. You know, that's one thing he's most consistent
But
about.
but see, okay. In some ways, here's what I think. I think in some ways Giannis lacks self-awareness.
That I
Well,
would
we're
say. Yeah, that's 100% true there.
confirmed.
That I would say. That I would say. Hold on one second, B Shack. Let me get this
Yeah.
super chat real quick. Hold on. King Kwame, appreciate the 4.99 super chat. The East is wide open. I think the Bucks, they can beat anyone in the East if Giannis, Ronza, KPJ are cooking. And I agree, 76ers are the Nah, King Kwame. Nah.
It's deeper than that.
They're
Yeah, it's
not
deeper.
running.
Yeah, nah. This ain't the year for that one, bro. Like, we
It's
could.
deeper.
Yeah, we need to get in this draft, bro. We need pieces. We need
Yeah,
pieces.
they're
Just
not
getting in the
ready for it.
playoffs to get whooped ain't worth it. You know what I'm saying? The juice ain't worth the squeeze at that point. If you're going to get in
Well,
the
they
playoffs, you
only
need to be in the playoff to get active. If you're not going to get active, it's not worth it. You know, it's better to get your star scream on and retreat. And that's what we need to do, like the Decepticons, the star scream, retreat. We need to retreat. I'm being honest. We need to retreat. For
I
real.
just I'm with you on that. Like, no, I don't want to go. The Sixers have a more complete team. Period.
Mm-hmm.
More in sync, more, you know, it's just more they got more chemistry on that team, you can tell. You know, but I just think like B
but they're
Shaq
not
that
that far for the
Giannis
10th
Giannis
spot.
needs self awareness. He needs self awareness, but Giannis is really a simple person. You know, like he's a kid. He's a playful person.
Mm-hmm.
He's a troller. You know, he's a troller. You know, and he's like, okay, you don't listen to me. I said I ain't going nowhere, so let me troll you. He knows the league's trying to poach him. That wasn't for you. That wasn't for anybody but the league.
Right.
The ESPN types.
And
You
they,
know, we watched ESPN. We watched them. They've been
yeah,
trying to poach him for how many years in a row?
yeah.
You know,
True.
Giannis leaving. He probably ain't said nothing for most of those years, so he knows what's coming. So, you know, I feel like that's just one of those things where he just like, I ain't say that. Where they getting it from? So now he trolling them because they trying. He can probably see what they trying to do. You know, because why would you
Mm.
not see it if you were Giannis, if you ain't even really saying this stuff and you watching it on TV? You know, they reporting trades that ain't happening.
Contact.
It's been
Contact.
happening for 6 years,
I
B-Shaq.
got to come for you now, man. I got the full feed.
Well, we gotta say
Cause
this. We gotta talk.
you taking it too far. You acting like you act Fronte.
You act like Giannis is
Are
stupid.
you really gonna act like Giannis hadn't been playing in the Bucks face?
Right,
Are
that's
you
all I'm
really acting
right.
like
He
he didn't go on
has.
speed talking about you gonna be back with the Bucks? I don't know. We'll see. I mean, come on, man.
I mean,
Giannis
but
been
my thing is
playing the
like
game.
B-Track. Who's going to force the Bucks to
You
do
saying
something?
that he hasn't
Who's
given
going to
them
force the
nothing
Bucks
to
to
think he
do
wants to
something?
leave? He's
Who's
been
going to force
playing
the
in their
Bucks?
face.
Who's going to force the Bucks to do something? You said the
I'm not
video
saying
speak.
I'm not
They don't
saying
have
about
a press
force.
corps, so
I'm
who's going
saying,
to force the Bucks organization to make moves?
but I'm saying you just keep saying they're trying to poach him. Somebody made contact with the Knicks last year.
They are trying to poach him. They've been trying to poach him for 6 years, B-Shot.
Yeah, but
Every
Giannis could
year for
shut
6
it.
years,
But
Stephen A.
Fronte,
said the Giannis might be traded this year. Giannis might be
Fronte,
traded here. Every year,
Giannis
Giannis said,
could,
I didn't say that.
but Giannis can shut everything down by saying, "Listen, I don't want to go anywhere. I'm not. I'm staying here. Don't make no slick comments to no writers, no pod. Don't make no slick comments. He been making slick comments the whole time, talking about I'm the what? I'm the babe. I'm the one they chasing. I'm the chick. I mean,
But
what's
he
all of
was
that?
though. Like, was he not? Was he not right?
You
Was he
don't
not
hear
right?
none
He
you
said,
don't hear
was he
none
right?
you don't hear
Did he say,
none of
was
the
he right?
other all stars saying stuff like this. Giannis be playing around too much, man. And then
I'm
he's
just
giving
saying, like,
interviews talking about I don't want to. I love Milwaukee, but he ain't really saying that with the Bucks. He's talking about the ownership. If they don't want it, we're not on the same page. All that type of stuff. Come on, man. I mean, don't. I listen. Just don't act like Giannis doesn't have some culpability here because he
I'm
does.
just saying, I've been a Bucks fan for a long time. They've been talking about Giannis leaving for at least 6 years.
Yeah, but
He ain't left.
that's what
Every,
Jeff just said. Hold on one second. Let me get to my the homie James super chat. What up, James? Appreciate the $5 super chat. If the Bucks are close to the last playing spot, there isn't anyone in management that will let number
I
34
gotta agree
sit.
with that one
He
right
won't
there.
stand for it. Facts.
I agree with that one because I feel that the owners and they don't care about what
Salute,
we think.
James.
If they close to they close to the plan, they're gonna have the guys playing. But you're right. I feel like Giannis does say things. And one thing I remember he said was, "I'll make sure this team ain't comfortable because I'll say things to not make sure the team ain't comfortable." So I agree with you on that term, free Shaq. He does say things like that, but at the same time, ESPN wanted him out of Milwaukee for the
But there's no
longest time.
doubt. I'm not
Right.
disagreeing with that at all. But Bleacher Report, boss, Bleacher Report. Let me ask you this question.
What's up?
I think there's a conflict of interest here. I think if the Bucks plan to tank and get a high draft pick, the plan does not need to be to quickly rebuild a championship team around Giannis. It needs to be make a commitment to build for the future.
But the
Because
problem,
those two, in other words, we're gonna get a high draft pick. We want to sit Giannis and then possibly look to use him to really trade him to bring some assets to really build this team solid for the future. I think that probably needs to be what they go all in on. If they go in the other direction, I say, okay, we're going to try to rebuild around him with expectations of competing in the playoffs. I think you're playing with fire because if he doesn't agree that, okay, this team is good enough, he may not sign the extension. I just think if for the health of the franchise, they need to either choose Giannis or the franchise. Right now, I don't think those two things are mutually on necessarily the same thing. It was at one point, but if they commit to building a championship team to satisfy for the purpose of keeping Giannis here, they're operating from they're not operating from a smart place. They just
well,
aren't.
I got two things to say about that. Number one, I just think that John Horst got to do the picks because he just sucks at doing picks. Like, name one person he drafted that changed everything. That changed it. That pick, Giannis Antetokounmpo, was a John Hammond throwaway layup pick that we had no idea was going to happen with him. We had so many guys came here, Chinese guy Lee. Guy from Australia. We had Bogan. But none of those guys changed the way we thought about then when Giannis got picked here. And John Horst, since he's been here, had drafted nobody. I mean nobody that really, okay, you're trying to build something. And you're right. I think that they have to choose between Giannis or, the team. But the problem is, I'm saying how I feel about it. My problem is with that is if you choose Giannis, you're going to have to get players around him based on how he plays, but just get the right coach here, too. We don't have a good coach either. Doc got to go. It's internally. Internally, it's been all mixed up soon as Griffin got fired. But I think that you got to build your players around it. I got the players you got, the little players, but we need more. They need more players around him, but I just don't believe in Horace. I don't think he's going to draft any good players. He's always drafting these uppity layup picks that don't even last. Like AJ Johnson, he's on 13 right now. Marshall Beauchamp not in the league anymore. Like, who are we drafting then?
I remember the chat was up in arms about AJ Johnson getting traded. He barely hanging on being in the
I
league.
haven't given up on AJ Johnson.
I know you haven't. I'm just saying. Hold on
I
one
want to see
second.
what Jay Kidd do with them.
All right, hold on one second. What up, King Quan? Appreciate the 199 super chat. B Shack Luca got traded. It's Horse and his agent. Okay. All right. I feel where you coming from. Jay Stizzle, appreciate the $10 super chat. The Bucks need to take a stand and shut him down to protect their asset, regardless of what Giannis wants. If he wants to leave after that, they should want him anyways. Okay. They should want him to anyway.
Listen,
Okay.
if his agent was Rich Paul, if he had an agent like Rich Paul would make him shut it down. But Giannis, I don't think Giannis is getting the greatest advice, man. I just don't.
He talking about putting on a sleeve and all this foolishness.
Giannis clearly isn't getting the greatest advice, but to think that you can't build a team around the agent, not around the agent team with the agent superstars is a lie. That's a lie. That's just not true. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen that happen plenty of times. Tim Duncan, one of them. You just got to bring in players and develop them. It's that simple. It's like you're not going to win a championship every year. Okay. But can you get a pick? Can you hit in the draft? Can you bring in a free agent? Can you build a team? It's really the question, right? If you can't build a team, none of it matters if you trade Giannis or not. It don't matter if you trade Giannis if you can't build a team, right? Now, what's your vision around Giannis? Yeah, I would shut him down just to get him healthy.
Man.
Just to get him healthy. Just to get them legs, get some mileage off them legs for let him recover. That's why his cap keep flaring up because it needs more time to recover.
For the last
because he ain't stopped playing, so I would shut him down for that reason. But to think about it, like let's say the Bucks get a high pick, they get a potential good player, right? You got Rollins, you got KPJ. Say they get better next year, right? And you still got Giannis, and then you got this young player. You tell him you couldn't fit pieces around that, or you want to start all over. What's the point of that? Because you still got a young nucleus coming up when Giannis ages out. So my thing is, all you need is a coach that knows how to develop players and build teams and massage that thing. You don't have to trade Giannis for that. You
Hold
get a
on.
hold of the
I think somebody's pushing back on your comment there, Bronte. Hold on. What up, Maurice? Salute, been a minute. What up, Maurice? Appreciate the $10 super chat. Giannis is a 2020 S-Class Mercedes-Benz with 100,000 miles that's going to be in the shop every other month. The Bucks better sell. Oh my God, this is funny.
Go back. I want to see
it the Bucks better sell or trade it now before its value is completely depleted.
I get what you. I get it.
Salute, Maurice. What up? He came
this
back.
This is not football, y'all. This is not football. This is not football. You don't have 7 rounds in a draft pick. Literally, the draft is built off of the first 13 picks, maybe. You know what I mean? So getting draft picks in the 15 pick, the 17 pick, that ain't gonna do you nothing. That ain't gonna do nothing. The Bucks could be a doormat for the next 20 years once they trade Giannis. So what are we talking about? I mean, I don't understand why the reason why do they care to Giannis? Did you see Milwaukee before Giannis? Did you see the downtown before Giannis? Did you see it before Giannis? They need to do a picture and say this is what it looked like before Giannis, and this is what it looks like after Giannis.
You thinking with your heart, Bronson, not with your
That
head
ain't
right now.
no. I'm thinking with my eyes. Did you see Milwaukee before Giannis? Did you see downtown Milwaukee before Giannis?
But see,
Exactly.
let me tell you something.
He's an economy, yo.
Let me teach you. Let me just share a principle about life. You cannot walk forward motivated by fear. You gotta have faith.
You
Now,
don't trade a
if
player
your
like
motivation is fear of going back to pre-Giannis, you can't think like that. You got to believe that because you won a championship, because you had several winning seasons, that if you play it smart, now, y'all got to hear yourselves talking. If you play it smart now, you don't have to go all the way back there. You really don't.
my
You
point is
really
you don't
don't.
have to trade Giannis to win, though.
I'm
That's
just
the point.
saying, man.
What are y'all
You
talking
have
about?
a top asset right now who's already showing he's deteriorating.
Do you have to ask me this
If you
question?
don't move this summer, you're never going to get what you should for him. They've already showed you that they're not going to give everything for him. They've already showed you that.
That's
They
true.
did.
So if you hold on to this too long, you are not going to get back the assets that you really want and you need to build. That's just a fact.
Do you
Okay.
have to trade Giannis to win? Is the real question.
It's
That's a no.
it's
That's
not
an
even
easy.
about winning right now. It's about getting some good young players in here
Mm-hmm.
and developing them.
Where you gonna
That's
get
what
him
it's
from?
about now.
When you trade Giannis, you can get it from the drive. That's what you said. So let's timeline this out, B Shaq. Let's really timeline this out. Get a draft. How long is it gonna take for him to become good and know how to win in basketball?
It's not
About
all
5 years.
draft picks. You can get
That's
literally
2030.
you can get some good young players from other teams onto the Bucks along with your draft picks.
You can. Who?
But
Who you getting?
Absolutely.
Who you getting?
You gotta get into the summer to the negotiations.
I'm
You
saying you
try
trade him. Who you
so
getting?
so 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 your mindset is we're just not gonna get no one good for Giannis.
No, I'm just looking
That's your
around the NBA. Who
mindset.
you getting? Who you getting for Giannis? That's good and young.
I can't answer
Who
that
you gonna get?
question for you right now. I'm
You
not
got
John
it. You
Horst.
got
I'm not on the
as a
phone.
GM. You as a GM, you have to though, because you trade a generational player. You got to get somebody that you think is gonna be a star. Who you getting?
no,
How you could never be a salesperson because you would never get on the
But
phone.
I could build a team though. I could build a
Yeah.
team though. I know that you don't have to trade Giannis to win in the future. That doesn't even make sense.
but
That doesn't even make sense on
Yeah,
no
I
I
mean,
level.
got
win games, but if you're trying to win a championship, is what he's saying, and have a future. We don't have any future past Giannis right now. Is what
man.
he's trying to say, coming from his perspective.
But you so
Uh,
you don't
I
believe in Rollins
hold
and
on one second,
KPJ?
Pronte. Hold on one second. Go ahead. Go ahead.
whew, you, I love this, man. All right, look, be shut. I gotta say this to you. Now, I see what you're thinking, but you also gotta think what the owners are thinking. Remember what Amber just said. It was only 5,000 people in that building a couple days ago. They don't care about nothing about this if they ain't not filling those seats. Now, they're not filling the seats, they're not getting paid. They thinking about green. They ain't thinking about the feelings we feeling right now. They don't care about that. They care about filling those seats and getting their investment back.
So what you're saying is Giannis is the only way to fill the seats.
Because they don't, that's all they know. That's on them. They should
But
really have more smarter people in that building to develop players. And the owners don't know, they just don't want to get rid of Doc and then not have a backup plan for another coach because they don't know. And that's on them. We know that they need to get another coach. The problem is they don't want to just pay for another coach, get another guy in here, and you're right. They should have that plan, but they don't because they don't got nobody in that for organization that's not thinking ahead. That's the problem right now. They want the money, but they don't want to do the work for it. That's what my
Yeah,
thing is.
because
They
yeah,
don't want to do
I
the work.
agree. But if you when you look around the league and look at teams like Detroit, a bunch of young lions on the team. The Hornets have won how many in a row? I think they've just broken a record, like it's more than 15, right? Or eight in a row. Um, you can build a young, exciting team that people want to come out and see. I just think that it's the mindset is if we lose Giannis, we lose everything, and that's just not true. Now it's true if you have a competent front office that you're confident in, that know how to sell a vision to the public. Okay, I think again, if you can get the right assets and somebody exciting that the team, the fans can get excited about, and really let them know what the plan is. I'm just saying, man, you can't just be like, okay, our only plan for the future is hold on to Giannis as long as we can, because all it takes is one injury and that'll blow up in your face. It'll blow up in your
That's not the
face.
plan. The plan wouldn't have to be that because the plan would be you develop the players you got. So, like I said, do you believe in Rollins? Do you believe at 20? Well, how old is Rollins? 24? 24-year-old Rollins, you
Somewhere
think
like
he can be a
that.
player? Do you believe KPJ can be a player? Right? You can't say on one end you got some faith that they can develop into a player, then not believe in them at all. So if you believe that they can develop into something, that means they can eventually develop into a potential number three or number two, right? Within a year or two. They don't look that far away to me. You just don't know, right?
Oh,
So then you got Giannis, who was clearly a superstar, So then you got three players right there. So what do you have to do from there? If that's what you think, what do I have to do from there? Right? I still, if they don't develop, I still can trade Giannis. You see what I'm saying? I don't have to trade him right now. I can still trade him. He's still gonna perform. But if these two develop, we got a team. And all we gotta do is fill a hole. The cap space is clearing up sooner than later, enough to get solid role players. There is no player that you can trade Giannis for, or no packs you can trade Giannis for now and get a return on investment. That's just the bottom line. So why are we so in a rush to trade him?
Just
It
to
doesn't even
interject,
make sense.
here, just Derek Stevens said when the Bucks traded Kareem, the picks kept us competitive in the '80s when we had Paul Percy and all them cats. So it can be utilized in a way to still keep your
It's
team competitive.
basketball.
That's
It's
basketball.
basketball.
So I get where you come from. Hold on one second. Let
I
me
just
get
don't
this. Let me just
don't
get
make
the
no
super chat.
difference.
Hold on one second. What up, James? Appreciate you spinning the block with the $5 super chat. Why are windshields bigger than the rear view mirrors? Because we're supposed to focus on what's in front of us, not really what's behind us. Damn, I use that in some of my meetings. Salute, bro.
I just said.
Right.
I mean,
That,
pretty
yeah,
much.
And
that's
if you
really it.
focus on what's in front of you,
Hey, Bleacher, let me tap you
when
out
you,
to tap in Dr. Smith.
when
There's a
you
couple people
trade
here. All right,
Giannis,
appreciate you.
you gotta have a team. You gotta have a team for that. I'm just saying,
What
you
up,
gotta
what
have
up,
a
Dr.
plan to
Smith?
trade Giannis. You can't just trade him.
No, well, that's the problem. This team don't have a plan at all. That's the problem. But yes, if you're going to do something that big, you
and,
should
and
have.
we're and, and we're forgetting about the possibility. Y'all constantly on the trade. If y'all don't like what he is seeing,
He's not.
he could just not sign that extension, and then the Bucks will be forced to move him because they'll be fearful of losing him for nothing. Then,
Right.
so that part, see, that part can change everything. We don't know what that's gonna.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
like I said earlier, I don't think my gut feeling because of the weakness in Giannis's head and heart and the weakness of the Bucks front office that the likelihood of him going anywhere is slim. I think this organization will go down with the ship. And I think they are willing to risk being in basketball Siberia for 10 years. That's why I think their mindset is right now.
I agree. I agree. Uh, th- that's a great take. Hey, Pronte, appreciate you, bro. What's your last words? Tap in scales before it get too
I
late,
mean, I'm
brother.
just saying, like basketball Siberia. What does that even mean? Does that mean not winning the championship in 50 years once you trade Kareem? Is that what that means? I'm just saying, what does that mean? Like, tell me what that means. I just
First
want
of
to know.
all, years ago I was a Sixer fan, and when their biggest competition in the East were two teams. It was Boston and the Bucks. The Bucks were a very good team. A couple of a couple of streaks of good years. Everyone can't win a championship every year,
Mhm.
but Giannis wants to compete for a championship every year. That's Giannis. Don't get mad at me. That's Giannis.
Well, every superstar wants to compete for a championship. It's called
Agreed. That's fair.
being
That's fair,
competitive. That's
Pronte.
not unusual. You know what I mean? But my thing is like, what is basketball spirit? Is it not win a championship every 50 years after you trade Kareem and watching him win a couple more championships and saying we can't build around him? Okay, then that's about then. I guess that's where we're going. But they got draft picks that was very mediocre. Aren't we very mediocre right now? Okay, so would you say I want to be very mediocre without the legend? That's all you're saying, potentially. And you're gonna be just saying we have this team that we're gonna be hopeful
The
for
Bucks
with
don't go
no
down
real
with the
clear
ship.
superstar
I,
for the next 30 years. I'm saying that's potentially the case.
Well, so then that's what they're saying. So y'all both saying the same thing. We gonna go down with the ship. That's what you saying too. It's the same thing, Pronte.
But you don't have to. But you don't have to. It don't matter. That's my point. Why being a Russian trader? Because in
No, but that's
5
what he's
years,
saying. Don't trade him and just go down with the ship. That's what he's
let's go down
saying
with the
now.
ship.
Yeah,
Let's go down
is
with the ship,
okay.
or build your team. Learn how to build a team right now. You don't have to go down with the ship. You
Right.
just can learn how to build. The problem with the Bucks ain't building a team. You know, they just saying, oh Giannis, build your
so
team, but
Right.
Let me ask you a
But hold
question.
on, but before it
players.
get too late, y'all go back and forth. I want to tap his scales before it get too
All right,
late.
I'm out.
All
Okay.
right, Pronte, appreciate you.
Salute, salute.
All right, hold on 1 second. Y'all gonna go at it. I already see where this is going. Hold on. Hey, hold on a second, Pronte. Stay close, bro. Stay
Yeah,
close.
right. Tell them to
Stay
stay
close.
close,
Stay
man.
close, Pronte. Go. Let's start. Hold on. Shout out to Dr. Smith. Shout out to Scales. Shout out to B-Shack. You gotta love
Salute,
the
salute.
conversations on this live. I told you, hey, this is how we do. Let's start with Dr. Smith, then we'll go to Scales and go to B-Shack. Dr. Smith, on
Peace,
you.
peace, family. Peace, peace. I
Peace.
was actually just gonna sit this one out. I was enjoying the conversation. Those are my favorite ones. The ones where I could see
All right.
both
Back and
sides of
forth.
it, right?
Right.
Um, I think it's a unique perspective that, and this is the B-Shack, right? Because we're out of towners rooting
Mm-hmm.
for the Bucks,
Right.
right? Now, I'm not from Milwaukee. You from my neck of the woods
Right.
originally, right? So I would say consider this. Consider this. And I'm not saying I'm right. It was something I was thinking about, right? When the Knicks, my whole family, Knicks fans. I used to be a Knicks fan. I couldn't do it anymore, right? So I really don't care how they feel about that. That's just what it is, right? When Allen Houston, Latrell Sprewell, and company, when that crew disbanded, you remember how horrific the Knicks were, right? Largely, and a lot of the same stuff that you're seeing now, right? It wasn't just that they were bad, it's that they didn't even know how to build a team. So there was no clear end to this in sight. It's just Siberia, year after year after year. We have 4 point guards on a team, no centers. You remember that when we had Steve Francis? Well, I'm not a Knicks fan anymore,
Yeah,
right?
I
But
remember that.
Steve Francis and Stephon Marbury and whomever else, and we couldn't do anything. It was as if there was like a schematic for how to build a basketball team that these guys had never even seen before. Why do we have 6,000 point guards and no? That's how bad it can be sometimes when you're terrible. Now, we from the city, right? So the Knicks being bad did not stop people from going games. People still went downtown. Everything was still there, right? I'm not
Garden's
from
always full.
Milwaukee. You see what I'm saying? The city is always full.
Yeah.
Manhattan, you go up just a couple of blocks, you in Harlem, it's always a party going on. And so let's say you
Hilarious.
made money from this,
Love New York.
right? Let's say you made money from this. Even if the Knicks are terrible and you had some kind of business around, you not losing money. Go to Milwaukee, ask these guys, our Milwaukee family. what happens if everything falls in on itself? Is it the same there? And I'm asking because I don't know. I'm not from Milwaukee. But would you keep it going, like New York could keep it going without your basketball team? If Giannis go, I suspect if Giannis goes, it looks like Cleveland. When
Yes,
LeBron
correct.
first left,
100%.
Yes.
they died. You know what I'm saying? And then it becomes much bigger than basketball. Now you got people who can't keep their bills going and they run a restaurant. So I'm
Right.
just saying this to say this, right? Because I absolutely agree with a lot of what you're saying, B-Shack, right? But I think that they are, for better or for worse, factoring other things into that decision, right? When a city dies like that and it becomes like a rotting cavity, now you have to now convince somebody else to come to this city and rebuild it. That's very difficult. We're very arrogant in New York. Everybody wants to come to New York and blah 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 blah. And you know it's always happening and there's a party everywhere and blah blah blah, right? But you have a once in a generational player that if he goes, I don't know when you see something like that back again. You're counting on them being able to team build. Look at the team that they have right now. Where is the evidence that anyone in that office
I agree with
knows
that part.
how to do that? You see what I'm saying? So I understand the need to hold on. To Bishak's point, Giannis is breaking down right in front of us. Right in front of us. He's playing 1,000 minutes a year, every single year. If I were his big brother, I would tell him, Giannis, I understand the need to play for Greece in the off season. You are taking years off of your life, bro.
Facts.
You haven't rested in I don't know how many different summers because it's a different competition every 10 seconds. It's FIBA, it's World Cup qualifiers, it's the World Cup. It's you know what I'm saying? And you do not play Kevin Durant's style of basketball. There's nothing finesse about your basketball. You play a very violent brand of basketball. You are going to take years off your life. If you're not careful, you're going to be the new Shaq. Without that violence, it falls quickly.
That's
It
true.
turns into Shaq on the Suns quickly. You've got to learn how to take care of yourself, but he's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. He's got a big heart. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't want
No,
to
hold on 1 second. I just want to get the homie Maurice. Appreciate you spending a block with the $10 super chat. Reason to let Giannis go ASAP. 1, difficult to mesh with other players. 2, lack of leadership. 3, low IQ. 4, too ball dominant. 5, injury prone. Damn, hold on. This man is going in. Damn. Shout out to Maurice. 6, lacks consistent mid-range shot. 7, can't set a damn screen. Jesus. Yo! Shots fired! Damn! Shout out, Maurice!
Maurice, he clapping.
Right, he clapping! Right! Woo! Go ahead, then we're going to get to your
There are
scales.
limitations there.
I think personally,
Woo!
it's a difficult place, right? Because I love how the Packers do it. They're always a year too early versus being a year too late, right? So I love how they do it. They move on from players and whatnot. But I also understand, right? Because there's no guarantee. It's less of a guarantee in basketball that next superstar is going to want to come, right? So I understand. I am truly kind of in the middle, the crossroads, because I understand emotion over brain. I just know that it's not guaranteed that approach is going to work either, right? What happens, and for the historians in the room, what happened when Brandon Jennings left, right? All right, his game is starting to leave him. Let's move on from him early. It wasn't like they got guaranteed success after that. They stayed in that place for a long time. Giannis was one of those moments. It's a haymaker because no one saw this coming.
Right.
No one saw that coming, and for him to develop into the guy, I get it.
In fact, I think they thought Jabari was going to be the man.
He was the man. Let's not sleep on Jabari. Injuries robbed Jabari.
Listen.
Jabari was the absolute truth. This team would have won a championship much sooner if Jabari never got hurt. We were already trending in the right direction. That injury set this franchise back at least 5 years. At least 5 years. Do y'all ever go look at Jabari highlights? It'll make you cry. It'll make you cry if you go back and look at Jabari highlights. Man.
It's similar to Grant Hill. I don't think he's not as good as Grant Hill, but it was
Right.
similar to Grant Hill in that, oh man, what if? Like, you know what I mean? I wish you would have, you know what I mean? I get it. But I yield. Let me hear from, please. Let me hear
Go
from
ahead, Scales.
my man.
Scales on
Yeah.
you.
Oh no, I mean y'all hitting on so many points tonight. I don't even know really where to start. So I'm
Start
gonna just
right.
kind of
It's a lot
I'm
going
gonna
on,
piggyback
Scales.
off
Right.
of what you were saying, and I just want to get a timeline because what you just said, Dr. Smith, is exactly why people like Pronte and others that live here on the turf
Mm-hmm.
feel the way that we do about that guy. Like his dad died here. You know, they interviewed his mama. His mama don't want to leave. So that's what I'm saying. Like his brothers became all-American basketball players right here in Milwaukee. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They brought all kind of AAU programs to this city. Like it's so many things that go deeper than basketball with
Right.
Giannis in Milwaukee. So that's why you see us homers sometimes take it a little more personal. But I get where B-Shack is coming from because he's just coming from the mindset of a GM in any sport
Right.
where the
Right.
future is always what matters. I coach high school basketball. I got a kid that's leaving this year, but I'm concentrating on my freshmen and sophomores right now. You see what
Right.
I'm saying? Because I'm trying to
Right.
build towards 3-4 years from now. So the kids that I'm trying to recruit that's coming out of 6th, 7th grade got something to look at and want to come play for Coach Skills. You understand what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
it's all about thinking about the future. But I'm not gonna give away my senior who's carrying us right now for absolutely nothing because I don't have a program that's attractive and sexy to everybody in the league. I'm not the Celtics. I'm not the Lakers. You understand what I'm saying? I'm a small market
Yeah.
high school and I have to build from within. So that's what I'm saying about the Bucks. So for example, Jabari Parker's a great point to bring up because if you look at the drafting, Horst gets Giannis. Giannis develops, young guy, right? Then the Jabari thing happens, right? And they're both going at the same time, 22 a game, 24 a game.
Right.
You
And
see Giannis
Middleton.
come,
Then Middleton
yeah.
started kicking in.
You see all these guys kicking in, right? And everything is turning up. Then Jabari goes down. That forces us to forge our future and get Jrue Holiday in here for draft picks that we just stopped giving away last year for that move with New Orleans. You understand what I'm saying? So we're too small of a market. Jrue Holiday never comes here as a free agent.
No.
We don't force him out of New Orleans here with some draft picks and some young, whatever New Orleans wanted for him because they knew they weren't going to get him back. He doesn't come here that summer. Guys just don't sign up to come to Milwaukee, even with a superstar here. This
Right.
isn't that kind of market, man. Even Anthony Edwards, Minnesota, kudos to their front office. They're throwing away guys because they have to do something because it's not a sexy market. Kevin Garnett was there and it wasn't a sexy market.
Right.
Sam Cassell and guys were winning with Garnett, and they had to get out of Minnesota. They didn't even care that they were winning every year. Get me out of here. I know Latrell Sprewell personally. Cats wanted to get out of Minnesota. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Like, everywhere ain't New York, everywhere ain't Florida, everywhere ain't Cali, and we're in a weird situation that puts us in a pickle with a guy. And the only thing that I respect the most out of him is that even though he's hurt, he still wants to play. He's not Kawhi Leonard in us or Joel Embiid. Is it to the detriment
True.
of him and our franchise? Maybe. But I'll take a guy that'll run through a brick wall with an injury over a guy that thinks, oh, Anthony Davis, oh, my nail hurt.
Right.
I'm going to sit down. Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't want that kind of superstar. You know what I mean? If my superstar is willing to die on the court, that's what I'll take, bro. That's how I hoop. Leave it all out there or don't come at all. And I like that about Giannis. You understand what I'm saying? Does it set us back sometimes? Does it not work well with players? Yeah, I think it doesn't work well because they're not being coached well. Aging superstars have won before, to Pronte's point. When you develop and put talent around, and we just watched Golden State do it. What San Antonio did it with Duncan as he got older. It's about the leadership, bruh. Like, that's why I almost hate that we took the rug from under Bud so soon. Because I believe Bud and Giannis probably could have got this thing back on track because Bud comes from a history of Sam Presti, Popovich. He knows how this thing goes. You know what I mean? I don't know what Bud was dealing with personally, and he doesn't really seem the same. But I don't want to judge him off of where he went after here because here he had something cemented. He had a culture that was being built here. You understand what I'm saying? And I think we're away from that culture.
We don't
And I don't think people want to recognize it or acknowledge it.
We don't have a culture. That's part of the
But we
problem.
had one with him.
Yeah, we did.
And we bashed him and talked about him so bad and wanted him gone so bad that a lot of us can't eat crow right now, bro. We can't. We can't be like, oh, we blew it with Bud. Our patience was a little too short with the guy that brought us the ring. You get what I'm saying? The guy that can control, the guy, hold on. The guy that saved our superstar from killing himself every night. Hey, buddy, come sit next to me. Chris and Drew take over. Giannis, you doing too much. Hey, why Giannis only played 30 minutes tonight, bud, in the press conference? Because he was doing too much. I'm preserving him for the postseason. He does entirely too much. Bud understood that, and Giannis would listen to Bud. He wasn't pushing back at Bud about his minutes getting cut. If you follow this team, you remember that storyline.
Mm-hmm.
That's why his PER was so high. The man got the highest PER in NBA history. You know what I mean? Because he was only playing 30 minutes a night and giving you 35 points and 14 rebounds in those minutes. You understand what I'm saying? So right now, you're removed from that. You don't have that guy telling that superstar what to do. In Miami, Spoelstra tells superstars what to do. Even in San Antonio, the culture of Popovich is still there. He's walking around on the sidelines with a cane. He can barely breathe, and he's still talking to Wemby. I seen him talking to Wemby in practice the other day on NBA TV. The man was just in the hospital 48 hours ago. So that's what I'm saying. That culture isn't here anymore. And me being a homer and a fan of this team, I hate that it's not. And to B Shaq's point, economically, that's what you do. As a GM, that's what you do. You sell high, you know what I mean, right now. But to the thing with the Bucks being good in the 80s, Don Nelson, fellas.
Right.
That wasn't just a happenstance because they traded Kareem. It took years till Don Nelson got here in the 80s to make that Kareem trade look like it worked. I don't know if you get that result if Don Nelson isn't the coach of those guys.
Well, coaching always matters. Yeah, coaching.
It matters,
matters,
man.
Yeah.
So that's just where I'm at with it. It's hard to attract superstars to this market, so that's why we want to hold on to our guy. You know what I mean? Even when you look at, like, Denver's not. I always say this on here, and Logic know this. I don't see other teams' superstar being dragged through trade rumors and remarks like this. I mean, maybe it's because the Joker don't talk to the media. So that's why we don't hear these rumbles out of Denver. Because he won't talk to him at all.
He's not going to be on our show speed. You're not going to see him on something like that.
Exactly. Giannis wants to charm everybody. He has a brand that he's trying to sell. He wants to be baby LeBron. You know what I mean? So it's a thing for him. But, like, we don't hear these rumblings from other people. We didn't even know it was a problem in Dallas until Nico pulled the plug. They had just went to the finals. I didn't know nothing was wrong in Dallas. If you knew that, then you're a cold NBA insider. I knew Luka was fat and didn't play defense 4 years ago.
Right.
And you still went to the NBA finals with him being fat and not playing defense. Right. So I didn't know there was a problem in-house in Dallas until they pulled the trigger on the trade. And now that turned into Chris Middleton, A.J. Johnson, and some draft picks. You didn't even get Anthony Davis. So that's what I'm scared of, B-Shaq. We trade Giannis. You understand what I'm saying? And we get back somebody like an AD. Then we got to trade that guy. And then we end up with a bunch of throwaway people.
Well, let me respond if Amber will allow me to.
Go ahead, B-Shaq. It's all you.
First of all, you know, that was real sick of Dr. Smith to put the New York Knicks thing on me, man. Because that was going to muzzle me. That was going to muzzle. That's why I put the hood on, man. Like,
I saw you do that.
You
was recognized what he was saying. He had to get little, Dr. Smith.
But what I do appreciate about Dr. Smith's viewpoint and scales is that all I was asking for was understanding. You know, totally Pronte, you know, I love, you know, Pronte's my dude, but he was acting like I wasn't making sense. I was like, what are you saying? I'm not making sense. It's just, this situation it's a unique player with a uniquely positioned franchise. And because it's such, the scales are so, the balance is so important, that it's almost like you play Jenga and you move one piece, it all kind of falls. I don't want to be, you're right. I do come from the big city. In New York, there's so much around the garden that's in the city that sustains it. They can take all sorts of hits and keep making money.
And still make the money.
Yeah, and still make the money. So I do understand. I'm sensitive to that.
Like, not to cut you off, B-Shaq, for example, does Jalen Brunson take a pay cut to come to Milwaukee?
No.
No, he knew what market he was going to. His daddy, you can make so much money off the court in New York. It don't matter. Take a pay cut and let them build a good team around you in New York. That's what I'm saying. He's not doing that in Milwaukee or Cleveland or somewhere like Minnesota. He's not doing that.
And it does
versus like
come back
right.
to what
I'm
what
sorry,
I
go ahead.
think. I think I probably don't think Giannis will probably end up going anywhere.
Mm-mm.
And I think that it's going to be great for Milwaukee for him to stay. But I'm afraid, as a this part of me that's a Giannis fan, it's not going to end up the way he wants it. His career is not going to be the multi championship thing that he always wanted it to be. I think the Bucks can be competitive, and I'm hoping that hey they can. Who knows, man? Maybe another kid, another Giannis comes up the chain, and he can join Giannis before he gets too old. Um, but I think what's going to happen is Giannis, and I do feel like it's true that the Bucks. I hate to use the word use, but I do think that they understand how loyal Giannis is to them. And I think they leverage that against him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
And I just think that this is going to go on the way it's going to go on, and he's going to have to adjust his expectations, his goals. I
That's
just
fair.
think and I don't know where he's at as far as how determined he is. If you listen to that interview with him and Austin Rivers, and it's a long, it's almost an hour and a half. You really get to understand the mind. Giannis is constantly thinking about his future. He explained how he has to develop a jump shot in his mind if he's going to play as long as he wants to play. Of course, he acknowledged his body was already breaking down. He saw highlights of him, and he was like, "Man, I wish I could still do that." He understands his mortality. So,
Mm.
but it's hard because of uniqueness of the market. Maybe they can't. Maybe they just can't let him go. Um, but I just think that in the long haul, it's either you deal with it now or you deal with it later. If you don't get that player or build that team and Jan just ages out, the question is now without an asset to flip, what are you going to have then? And
That's a good.
ultimately, the front office has to answer that question.
That's a good question.
Is it about basketball or is it about business? And I guess it's got to be about business in America. But I just don't see if they're going to just say we're going to hold on to him for dear life. I don't see this ending well.
Amar, do you think the low attendance is because he's not playing in the performance of the team? Which one do you think it's more like is
I think it's
60
both.
40?
I
Is
think it was
both? Okay.
yeah. If we were winning, and we've been winning, he wasn't playing. I think people would still be there. But it's the losing coupled
Yeah.
with not having Giannis is why people are not in the arena. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? We're already a losing product. Then we don't even got the star player to watch to keep us attentive in the game.
Facts.
Why would you
Facts.
even? You know what I'm saying? Why would you be there? So that is definitely Giannis puts people in the seats. It just is what it is. Giannis definitely puts people in the seats. Even when we weren't winning, there was still it was still packed out in there because you
That's
wanted.
that's where that's why
So
that's what made me ask you
yeah, so
that question because
then you would still see you
yeah,
gonna see people in there because they want to see Giannis. Some people
yeah.
might be their first time ever seeing Giannis coming from out of the country. It's all types of big businesses, GE, all of this stuff. We
Mhm.
got Baird, everything. So when people come in town, why would you want to come see Giannis? But if he ain't there, why would you go there?
For
That's
me,
the
it's the style
attraction.
of basketball
Let's
too.
start. Yeah, let's spin the block one more time. Go ahead. That's on you,
Yeah,
Dr. Smith.
I was gonna say it's the style of basketball too. For me now at this point, it's gotten infuriating. Like watching the Bucks right now is like an
Mm-hmm.
exercise in endurance, right? Because it's the
Yo.
same stuff all the time. It's the same stuff. Um, people are free to speak
Right.
about what like really like chafes them the most about them. For me, it's our perimeter defense.
Oh,
Like
terrible.
it's
Terrible.
for me that's and it's the same thing. It's the watching people sprint out to the 3 point line, knowing that the 3 point shooter, mediocre 3 point shooters, are just taking practice threes at that point. So we're not even forcing people into playing NBA basketball. Our defense is D-League basketball. Because we're not. Oh, I'm sorry. 1 second.
It's definitely D League. I can help you
It-
about this
Is
defense.
that is that Doc's like system defensively
I
that's giving up
definitely think it is.
that makes it look.
That was, I'm sorry, but that was the point I was going to make, was
Mhm.
that it really doesn't matter whether Giannis leaves or Giannis stays. To me, the most important thing for the Bucks has to be the leadership on this team, the coaching and the team building. Because it doesn't matter if you send Giannis and you go and get the haul back. If you're giving a haul to a novice, because Doc is lost in the sauce, he's lost it, right? It doesn't matter. And all you're gonna do is make the Milwaukee Bucks a more unattractive place, because people see that. They see, oh, you had X, Y, and Z, and you still couldn't make it happen. What makes you think I'm gonna go over there and give you any of my good years? When I went over there, you lost Giannis. You got the entire Western Conference to come play for Milwaukee. That's the kind of haul that you got. And you still couldn't win. I'm never going over there. Are you crazy? Never. No, sir. Like, you know what I mean? If we don't get that figured out, if we don't get an idea, like a plan. So, I mean, we're also Packers fans in here, right? Most of us, right? The Packers are recently under fire because, like, their vision on building a team is being called into question for the first time in a while. Right? Do we know how to build an offensive line anymore? Because we've had some bust picks, right? Do we know, like, what plan are we looking for when it comes to cornerbacks? Because our cornerbacks are absolute hot dog water right now, right? Do we even know what we're looking for at this point? And I felt that way about Milwaukee for a while now. What is it that you're even looking for at this point? I've stated that the blueprint for much of the league is to go out and get lengthy players, right? Lengthy players to play out on the perimeter, that even if they're not really highly skilled, they're difficult to score over. And we don't do that, right? We are super handicapped with what we can do physically. Do you even have a plan? What is your plan? What is the plan? What is the plan to place players around Giannis? And can't, you know what I mean? Like, there's just been like a series of like regrettable mistakes for a couple of years now. It's just constantly like mess up after mess up after mess up. This opinion is not popular on this channel. I will state it anyway. I love you all. You know I'm gonna have my opinion, right?
Right.
You lose a generational perimeter defender like Drew Holiday, you do not bring back one in return. That hurt us. That was the beginning of the end of our defensive identity. So you say, all right, well, we're going to trade our defense for offense. So you go out and you go and get a whole bunch of shooters, and now we can't stop anything. Then you go and get a coach who is trying to teach defense to players who could not be bothered with it whatsoever. I just want to play drop defense. If I'm Bobby Portis, I don't even know what defense looks like.
Right.
And the coach leaves. Then you go and get Doc Rivers, who has not updated his book of plays since he was in Orlando. You go out and you send 4 picks out for Jay Crowder, who can't. I can move better than Jay Crowder, and I'm pushing 50 years old. I can move better than Jay Crowder. It's just regrettable mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. Where do you even begin? So that's what I mean. Like, what is the plan? Go out and stick to the plan. I don't care what name that player has. Does he fit your plan? And if he doesn't fit your plan, you shake his hand, you move on. Can anyone even tell me what these dudes are doing anymore in Milwaukee? Like, what is the function? I don't get it. I don't get this
That's
thing.
fair.
To Dr. Smith's point, they were telling us that Giannis can only play with shooters. The guys who look the best next to him are ball handlers and creators.
Correct.
KPJ and Rollins. So all that, he can only play with shooters. I don't know if that's actually true. I think that's a bad scouting report. I think that's a lazy scouting report. I think that's AJ Green is affordable, so I ain't gonna go try to go get nobody else. Like, I think that's what that is. So we'll just say our superstar can only play with shooters. Like, I'm not going for that. So I think, to your point, Dr. Smith, when you building out this team, you need to gun for more guys like Rollins and KPJ, because they've moved the needle. Even if it's only been 2 inches, they moved it more than anybody else that was here before them two guys start getting the ball in their hands. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't even Kuzma. Kuzma's not a shooter. He looks good with Giannis this year. So that's what I'm
he
saying.
got a
This
speedy
whole
recovery too. Sorry about that, but yeah, I
no,
hope.
go ahead. Yeah, absolutely.
Kuzma
You
have
know,
a
I'm
speedy
just
recovery
I just
too.
want to kill this theory that he's like LeBron was in 2006 and he can only play with the floor spread and shooters. First of all, he don't even set the table for his teammates like LeBron James did. So why would you even want to have him like that? You understand what I'm saying? Giannis really doesn't wait on double teams. He beats the double team because he's not really good at reading double teams. He's not a back to the basket guy. So he likes to go right away before the help comes. So when he passes, sometimes it's just out of fruition because he done shot 10 times in a row and he think he need to get the ball up now. You know what I mean? Like we think AJ Green and Gary Trent Jr. and these dudes are amazing shooters. You put them on other teams, they might not even get a shot off.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. I think you need to surround him with more athletic guys who can get their own bucket and who can play defense on the other end. You know what I mean? Rollins and KPJ aren't Drew Holiday, but they play passing lanes.
Right.
They get in people's pockets. They sit down. They sit in the chair on guys.
Right.
I haven't seen that since Giroux left because Dame didn't do it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think for the future, even this kid we just got, people were really high on him a couple years ago. I'm hoping he can be a KPJ because people were really high on this Dame kid coming out of college coming from overseas a couple years ago, very young. I think he's only still like 21 years old or something right now. So, and OKC got it like that, where they can throw away good kids because they got it like that over there. Like you're going to see a lot of good kids just get thrown to the wayside from the But that to that B-Shack, we don't have the guys upstairs to even make that kid be what he could possibly be. So that's what scares me about that. You understand what I'm saying? Rollins and KP
without infrastructure, nothing.
Rollins and KPJ got a point to prove. They're playing with a chip. They're playing with a chip on their shoulder. They got something to prove to every team that cut them and let them go. So that's why they play the way that they play. Go ahead, Doctor.
Go ahead. It's on. Go ahead, B-Shaq, before we get up out of here. Go ahead, B-Shaq. Then we'll come back to you. Make sure you got everything.
Well, Dr. Smith made a point. He was asking about the defense. Our terrible defense. Our defense should be better. It's the system. You got KPJ and Ryan Rollins. Your defense should be strangulating. But here's the problem. You don't have a good coaching as far as the defense is concerned. And let's look at John Horst. When they brought Dame in and got Drew Holiday out of here, defensive player, right? Look, let me just read you a little bit of the bio of the coach we had hired. As a key assistant coach for the Toronto Raptors from 2018 to 2023, Adrian Griffin was the defensive architect behind the team's top 5 defensive ratings 2018 through 2020, helping secure the 2019 NBA championship, the defense that locked Giannis up. So you bring a man in that has a great defensive mind, and you don't give him the personnel.
And he
blowing the whole away from being a defense oriented to an offensive team.
He blowing the whistle in practice and saying, "Bobby, you out of place." And Bobby went upstairs and said, "I want him gone. He got to go. Don't nobody talk to me like that, man." That's what happened. I'm telling you. Adrian Griffin was blowing that whistle and saying, "Your rotation is late. You're late, bro."
Yeah.
And listen, and him and Brooke went upstairs and said, "Hey, dog got to go, bro. We ain't on that. We got the
fact.
He got to
Could
go,
you imagine JPK and Rollins in his defensive system, which was a very high pressure defensive, but Brooke was getting burnt because he was used to playing in the drop. The personnel wasn't right. So
but you can hide Brooke in the drop when you got Giroux at the head of your defense. You can hide a guy like Brooke in the drop.
It's a combination of factors, right? Brooke was really good. Brooke was really good at what he did, but he's like a 3-4 nose tackle who's now having to play zone defense
Yep.
and whatnot, right? So he looks good if you're calling the right defense and you have the right people complimenting him. So you got Drew right there, but you lose Drew. For the record, I love Drew. He's one of my favorite players. I'm not against the move to swap, but you can't swap Drew for Dame and not get defense back. They went and got Drew for Dame and then went and got Malik Beasley, who might be a worse defender than Damian Lillard. So now that perimeter looks even worse with Brook, because now Brook is like, all right, well, I only look good with good perimeter defense players. You threw all of them away. Not some of them, all of them away, right? And Brook is like, well, I'm not going to make up for what you're lacking. We all remember it. We saw Malik Beasley out there getting so low in his stance that somebody needed to send like a ladder for him to get up out of his stance. Meanwhile, the other team is not only scored, but they're running back on defense because he's slow to get him. Like, we saw all of that.
Right.
We saw what Brook looked like without the perimeter D. It's just a series. Adrian Griffin didn't help himself because if you're brand new, I understand you got to crack heads and take names and whatnot, right? It wasn't just him. He was cursing out the damn coach. The coach said, I'm done with this, right? Adrian Griffin, for his part, might have had good ideas. No one can hear them because you're not ready. You're an idea man. You're not a coach. Doc is a coach. He's not an idea man. Man, it would be nice if those two guys could like marry the two together, like where you can be the diplomat that can talk to people and not lose them, but I actually know what it is I'm talking about, right? And
hey, the finessers, remember, Doc was mentoring him all the way up until he got the job. So that's like right now where I'm coaching at, somebody's mentoring me, then I get fired and they come take my team over. That don't even sound right, man. How you go from being my mentor, now you got my job? What, like, that was crazy, man.
I think the word really is he had the coaching skills but lacked the communication skills. Doc has all the communication skills but ain't got no real coach.
They'd have been good together.
But what we're looking for right now, the next coach, we're looking for that assistant that's a diamond in the rough. We're looking for Adrian Griffin all over again.
Yep.
And y'all, I don't care what Adrian Griffin did. They got him for a reason. We fired the man when we were 30-13. I believe bad karma has followed the team ever since. You just don't do that, man. I'm sorry. Not at what would we do for 30-13 now?
Man.
Well, if we're talking about bad karma, right? I think personally to what Scales was saying when it comes to karma, I think the Adrian thing is bad judgment. Bad karma is firing Bud after his brother.
Yep.
That's bad karma. That you don't do. And I'm saying that being upset when I was also watched. We all were. We all were there. We all emotional. Bud, take Drew off of Jimmy Butler. He's killing him out there. And Bud was like, in hindsight, we understand why he was like that. So I feel personally, you don't make a fan's decision in that moment because you know what's happening. Did he deserve the benefit of the doubt? At that point, we were only maybe 2 years removed from a championship. That's your bad karma. The Griffin thing, I just think it was bad timing. Like, you know what I mean? Bad communication, bad timing, because you got the wrong roster of people that he could have talked to. I absolutely agree with your point. Adrian Griffin with Ryan Rollins and KPJ are a much better match.
It all goes back to Horace.
Yeah.
It all Rivers.
Yep.
Here you go. Go back to Horace.
Whether it's Bud, Griff, all Rivers lead back to John Horace.
I just think he's been chasing that. It's just like, he's the dope fiend that got, he popped off or whatever, and it's never that second, third, fourth hit was never like the first one. When Giannis caught Drew's alley-oop and won game 6, won game 5, whichever game that was, right? The alley-oop, it has never felt that good in Milwaukee. And he said, I'm going to chase this feeling for the rest of the time that I'm going. And he's been trying to
Damn, that's a
chase
hell
that.
of an analogy. Damn.
Like he's been trying to chase that moment, and it's just one bad move after another one. And he's almost getting Jerry Jones like stop, brother, like stop. What is your plan here? Because you're just chasing. Like there's no blueprint, there's no plan.
Right.
At least with the Packers, I can see the plan. Now you can criticize the plan afterwards, but I can at least see the schematic. I don't even know what John Horst is doing. It's just like a blob. It's a mess.
Right.
Right? How do you go from like your plan when you had Malik Beasley and Damian Lillard to what Scales was saying is to fill the team with shooters, right? And I guess you kind of sort of doing that now, but then you go and you get a Kyle Kuzma who's not a shooter at all. So what is the plan? I'm not saying Kyle Kuzma was a bad player. I'm saying, but you got to bring him in with a plan, right?
Yeah.
Clearly, he needs that. I think we can.
I don't think anyone anticipated Milton breaking down this early, though.
No.
I mean,
Also,
that threw a
a big
lot
point.
off. I mean, he's still, was he 33 now? He broke down real early, and just imagine if he didn't. I mean, he would still be here, but we couldn't count on him anymore.
Yeah, for sure. That's a big thing.
That was a big blow too.
No, that was
it's
a
just
huge blow. Because basketball IQ with him, his size, he could defend. Like him and Giroux made us defensively amazing. And I'm just even thinking about the young guys when people be like, well, Bud and Doc don't play young players. Bud played young guys. You just had to be high IQ. Dante DiVincenzo, Malcolm Brogdon. He played young guys. You just couldn't be a dummy out there. You had to come from a culture of you know what you're doing. Brogdon was a sink, played all 4 years, and Dante had just won the championship under Jay Wright, who coaches NBA systems at Villanova. You understand what I'm saying? So if you when you draft for a coach who doesn't play young guys, you got to go get him high IQ young guys. You can't just go after the sexy name or
right.
the
I've
name
been saying that
that everybody
matters,
wants.
man.
The IQ matters. You got to go and your character too, Amara. High character guys. Dante's high character. Malcolm Brogdon's high character, meaning they're not bringing the locker room down.
Right.
They coming in there, you know what I mean, with some type of maturity even at their age, where you're looking at them like, okay, I see something there. Go ahead.
Character. Let me just say one thing. If I could just take the Men in Black wand and just put it all in Edway's face to make them forget about JBK's past.
Oh yeah.
Did you see what he said about Ryan Rollins the other night? When they should be rivals, he said, man, that kid, I just think people are sleeping on him. He's basically saying that I wish he got more pub.
Whatever therapist
he's so
KPJ
proud of him that he's
whatever
trying to, even though he has a couple more years over him, he's trying to pour what he knows into him. Dude, that's high character stuff on a team. And something about him. First of all, Doc said he has a high IQ. I mean, I guess, Doc said it. Maybe it's true. He says, and they keep putting him back in the stuff. He brings something that no one else on the team brings. Did you see him set up that screen with and roll to the basket with
Jericho Sims
from the side? How that thing developed, and he had this much window to pass it. This much. I don't even know how he got the pass through. I just wish that because I have a radar for hate, for subliminal slide slick stuff. And I hate what they do to this kid, man. I hate how they talk about him. I really do.
No, that's a
and in my opinion, just following the team, I think he gives the best interviews. I don't really even watch anybody else's interviews. I really just watch him in Rollins' interviews, and KPJ gets more mic time than Rollins does. And you're absolutely right, D-Shack. He bigs up Rollins, bro. He, like, even when he was injured, he was giving Rollins his flowers. Like, so I think they have a chemistry together. Like, I even seen it tonight. Like, and they don't need Doc's playbook to get going. I think Doc's playbook holds them back sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you just let them boys go right now, they can do better just on their own than trying to look over at Doc to see if that's what they should be doing or not. And I think that's where the turnovers and some of the goofy plays be coming from, because they worried about if they doing what Doc want them to do instead of just doing what their natural instincts would tell them to do, because he's not coaching anyway, for real. Like,
I mean, I think Doc Rivers' playbook is good for like holding doors open. Like if you don't have like a door stop or something, like you could just take it and wedge it up under the door. That's what it's good for at this point.
The other day, I sent Amara a clip on Twitter. Remember?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where Rollins, that big game he had the other night, that was all Rondo. Every time out, he went with Rondo. He wasn't even going to see Doc. The rest of the team would be with Doc looking at the clipboard. He's talking to Rondo. Then in the press conference, he said, man, Rondo's been at A with his daughters and all of this. He hasn't been here, but since he's been back, man, it's been a pleasure. And you can literally see the change in Ryan Rollins since Rondo's been back. This week, it's been a week, and we won all 3 games, and the boy is up for player of the week in the NBA this week. Just because Rondo's back. I sent Mr. Logic the clip on Twitter the other day because it blew my mind when I seen it. Like, he's coaching. That's not developing these guards. That's Rondo. And because he's not here permanently, you can see the gaps and lapses when he's not here. And then they're in the hands of Doc Rivers and them, whoever them other dudes is. But when Rondo's here, that's who Rollins and KPJ go talk to during timeouts and sidelines, or even, when you can, during free throws, when you can go to the sideline and talk to the coach, they be talking to Rondo.
That's the same thing AD and LeBron did in the Lakers. They talked to Jason Kidd all the time. They didn't talk to the other coach.
Yeah, that's important. That's important. I mean, look, and then I gotta go. But look at I'm so jealous sometimes of some. Look at OKC and how many different versions of their team have been like wildly successful, right? And it's the framework that you can build around these players. They have a plan.
Sam Presti.
Exactly, but they have a plan. Unless you are like a college basketball beatnik, there are guys over there who are doing it in the NBA that you did not hear about.
You never heard of them.
They see, right? But they had a plan for what type of player that they wanted, and then they had put those players in the right hands. I still got to do my 60 for no strays. We love talking about the Celtics and whatnot. They're like our favorite, but give credit where it's due. Like them guys,
that's a well-oiled machine over there, and the culture.
I love
winning culture
and different versions of it. Like one year, that same Celtics team, almost the same personnel, one of the best defenses statistically we'd ever seen, and then maybe like 5 minutes later, they're one of the best offenses. Like they flipped the switch.
3-point shooting team now, all of that.
You know what I mean? It's knowing like what plan do you have for these players? How do we put them in the best spots to succeed? Are our ideas updated with the current trends of the NBA? This is where we suffer, because constantly running out the 3-point shooters lets me know that you have not watched basketball since 1995, right? They are just, every single team has like 10 3-point shooters on it. Why are we trailing 3-point shooters?
We let the Pelicans hit 24 3-pointers on this, Dr. Smith. They shot 50% and hit 24 3-pointers against us, the Pelicans. Carry on.
Everyone does. Everyone does. Everyone does. You might be a 13% 3-point shooter, but everyone else, you come to Milwaukee, you might as well wear Steph Curry's jersey coming out there, because you are going to shoot the most uninterrupted, unbothered threes you've ever had in your life. You don't even feel the breeze.
Trey Murphy.
Yeah,
Murphy almost dropped 50 on us.
Can I ask y'all a quick question?
Go ahead, BJ.
Y'all probably know how I feel about this. This is probably a loaded question. Would you be willing to, if we move Bobby, move Nance right into that spot?
Yes.
Would I be opposed to that?
Yeah,
I think Nance should do that now.
Right? Thank you. What are we waiting for?
I think Nance should do that with Bobby on the team. You have to move him to do. Hey, Bobby, go sit down, bro. Like,
B-Shack, I would have moved Bobby at the deadline for some draft stock and gave that baby that 2-way contract that he's earned.
Right.
and put him on the roster permanently, man. That's how you shed money. All this trading Giannis ain't how you shed money. Bobby Portis is that you need to cut because you got a young boy that's ready to play his
Yep.
position right now. The kid's shooting like 47% from three. So he's doing the same thing Bobby does, but he
Better
rebounds and
defensively.
plays defense and gets his and shares the
You,
ball
you
better
know
than
what
Bobby
else?
Portis
He hasn't
does.
had a turnover all week.
Nope. Nope.
All week he hasn't had a turnover.
Nope.
How? How?
Has Bobby Portis ever done that on this team?
Of course
No.
not. Of course
No.
not.
Like, has
Of
he ever
course
gone a
not.
quarter? Has he ever gone a quarter without doing?
And
Without
see, B
those?
Shack, that's my problem with this front office. You see what I'm saying? That's
He's
what a
the
front
mayor.
office should
He's
be
the mayor.
doing.
You
Those
can't
are the
do him like that. He's
yeah,
the
yeah,
mayor.
them the type. Yep, and that's what I'm saying. Them is the type of moves that you gotta make. The fans already ain't coming to the game, so that don't mean they coming for Bobby. So clearly, it's time for him to go. You see what I'm saying? It was a point in time he was a fan favorite and
No
but
one's coming to see you,
that is
Otis.
gone. Like
Okay.
that's
You're
yesterday.
already down.
So
All right.
you know what I mean? That's back in the day, bruh. You know
Do
what I mean?
y'all
Like the
see
young
these
kids
dudes?
say, don't tell me what you used to do, OG. You know what I mean? We don't want to hear it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, what have you done for me lately? You know what I mean? And you're not keeping butts in the seats, obviously. So it's time for you to go. And I got a young boy ready to play. I ain't saying just cut him and you ain't got no replacement for him. You actually got a better replacement for him.
Yep.
That's doing
Yep.
exactly like if you're worried about, oh, well, we need a big guy who can stretch the floor. Nobody's shooting the three better than that kid is this week. In these last 3 games, he's the hottest 3-point shooter in the NBA. So that's what I'm saying. And that's without Bobby being in the rotation at all. Bobby
Like,
hasn't
what are
played.
we doing? What are we even doing? He's the best.
That's what I'm saying.
He said, "What are we?" All right, y'all gotta get out of here. Hey, y'all, we got a couple days off. Then we play Orlando twice next week, y'all. So we
Yeah.
play Orlando Monday and Wednesday at Orlando. All right, y'all. So appreciate
All
y'all
right.
tapping in. Another excellent conversation. Scales, appreciate you tapping in. Dr.
Peace,
Smith,
peace,
appreciate you
peace.
tapping in. South Florida's finest, appreciate
My
you tapping in.
brothers.
V-Shack, all right, y'all. Appreciate
Salute.
Bye,
y'all.
y'all.
All right,
Peace,
Peace.
all
peace.
right. Salute. Damn, this is another great, excellent live debate. Had the homie Pronte here going back and forth. Salute, y'all. This is the best Bucks podcast on YouTube. There's no debate. There's no questions. I don't care who you talking about. Look at the community. Look at the interaction. Look at the chat. We the best in the business, y'all. Salute. Get the likes up. If you ain't already hit the like button, hit the like button. Don't you appreciate this type of this is intellectual Bucks content. Look at all the different angles, all the different back and forth. How do you not enjoy this type of conversation? This ain't your cookie cutter Bucks show. Man, we be moving the needle over here. Salute to friends and family. Bucks won 3 in a row with a impressive win, I would say, over the Pacers. We had control most of the game, just let our foot off the gas, did enough to win. But yet a win, 3 in a row at Fiserv Forum. We are on the road against the Orlando Magic Monday. So tap back in. We going live after every Bucks game. Hit the like button. We got the Discord cracking. All of that's working. So tap in, lock in, Instagram, Twitter, or X, whatever it's called. Lock in with me, y'all. All right, comment, like, subscribe, share the electrifying content. Gone. Man, this is a great live. This is going into the instant classic vault.